As writers, people ask me this all the time. Do I have to have a powerful backstory? My opinion is, I think it's very important to have a sense of your character's backstory so you could make creative choices from that place. You don't necessarily have to put it in the script. It can come out in different ways, but it really needs to be there in your mind. If you're sitting there and you're watching something and you're disconnecting from what's happening on the screen, it's probably because something feels not right to you, something doesn't feel authentic. You're not going to sit down and analyze it, you're just going to say, I just don't believe it. In this clip, Kathleen Turner plays a suburban housewife who has to have a perfect existence, and the need to put up this facade is tremendous. And because of that, what's happening internally for her is the exact opposite. She's filled with rage, she's filled with anguish and anxiety, and now it's starting to come up. So it's like a pot boiling. And every once in a while, it boils so much that she has to go out and kill. The mutilation of the victims, there's usually something that's held as a trophy. In Jeffrey Dahmer, it was body parts. With Dexter, it's the blood. You saw that with Dexter when, that was his moral code. I can kill you because you deserve it, but I would never kill children or pets. Oftentimes they're highly intelligent, charismatic, intellectual, charming. Hannibal Lecter is a great example. As the series developed, like a character arc, Dexter's main character arc throughout the series, if you're familiar with it, is he starts getting attached to people, he finds a love interest, he starts experiencing emotions. When he starts experiencing emotions, he gets in a lot of trouble. He said in the opening scene, Miami's a great place for Cuban sandwiches, pork sandwiches, but I also have a different hunger that needs to be fed. It's a great metaphor for what serial killers experience, that the internal experience is like a hunger that needs to be fed. Tony's the godfather of his family. There's a tremendous amount of control. But then it's interesting to look at, he does create his own rules and regulations. He can kill someone else if it threatens his family. Tony can't put his rage where it belongs. That's why I made a quick joke, this sense of his mother. And then there's this scene with the axe. Where is the rage really belong? And it's towards his childhood. Tony loves pets. You can kill someone else, but if you harm his pet, he'll destroy you. Dr. Melfi is really jealous of Tony. There's a lot of envy, because in some ways she wishes she could go out and kill the way he does. If you ever write a scene between a psychologist and an antisocial, whatever, one of the concepts you might think about, we talked about transference. Think about the concept of counter-transference. That's the issues that the psychologist brings into the session that the patient brings up within the psychologist. The mask, it's an interesting choice, even though we know it's the Joker. It's the mask of evil. He's hiding behind the mask. And we know the Joker had a really, it comes out in other movies, but a really tormented background. He's tempting because there's such a little sense of self. He says, you complete me. He tries to merge with Batman. Envy is an interesting emotion to deal with psychologically, which we'll talk about in another clip I have from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which is really, the Queen is one of the most evil characters in cinema, if you really think about her. You don't have to have your characters have every single characteristic of a serial killer or every single characteristic of a borderline. What you want to do is think in your minds, what's the main characteristic I want to build this character around? So from that place, I can have very powerful choices. We don't have to get it perfectly right here. We're in the business of entertaining. You want to get it right enough so it feels believable, but you can take artistic freedom. And that's important to know too. So I know, like, when people sometimes come to me, they're worried so much if they have every characteristic of that antisocial personality, and I go, it doesn't matter. And combine a few and mix them, but make it feel real.